How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Stay True Monday Night Call. It is October 24th. So October has come, and I was scheduling an appointment for like next week, and it's November 2nd on Wednesday. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. What happened to November or October? And I don't know. It's just flying by. So pretty soon Thanksgiving will be here, Christmas, New Year's, and we'll be on to 2017. So hang on tight. It always seems to get a little fast this time of year as far as schedules and everything else. But I'll start out tonight. Format of the call tonight, we have Mapi, who is going to take over here in a minute after I do recognition and announcements. And she's going to talk to us about our Facebook like pages, or the reasons why we should probably have one. If you don't, I think you'll find some good information from Mapi tonight. I'm excited to hear about this, so it's always kind of a refresh. And I don't know, Facebook and social media, it seems like I can never grasp the entire concept of it, so it's good to keep hearing it and see what we should be doing. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and throw out the recognition tonight. So this past week ended obviously on Wednesday at midnight, and so the point leaders from the week ending on, I believe it was the 19th, Wednesday. Drum rolls. Beth is opening her phone to the calendar.
Sorry, I can't get my phone open.
No, I think it was the 19th. But anyway, this past Wednesday.
Yeah, 19th.
So the team, or the point totals from that week, I led the way with 435 points, followed close behind me was Dan Barry with 397, Linda Harold with 345 points, Mapi Byler with 275 points, Theodora Dwayne, 270 points, Beth Akins, 199 points, Jennifer Parker, 180 points, Sonny Laughlin, 125 points, Courtney Miller, 112 points, and Gretchen Namath, 105 points. Short list last week, obviously. I don't think I have to point that out. It was probably one of the shortest lists that I've had to make up in quite some time. But I just want to continue to encourage people and everybody out here. Right now is not the time, to let up on our business or stop inviting. I'm hoping that what I'm about, what I say in the next minute or so, comes across as encouraging and not discouraging. But, I just want to encourage you guys to keep plugging away, keep inviting. If you've fallen behind and you haven't been doing your power hour, go back to that, guys. Take a look. It's a pinned post in Team Stay True. On my craziest days when things just are all over the place and crazy and maybe I don't have a full hour, if you go to that, it kind of brings you a sense of calm. And you can just look at it, check out what do you do. Step 1. Do it. Step 2, go through and do it. And if you only have time to do the first 2, then that's fine. Take a break, come back to it later and try to finish it out. I know, it can be overwhelming at times to think, man, where am I going to find an hour today to get everything done? But I just want to continue to encourage you guys to get that done, and just doing that simple thing over and over and over and repeating it will do one of two things. It'll cause it to become a habit. And a result of that is going to be your business will grow. If your business isn't growing as fast as you want it to, then, just take a step back and look around. What are you doing? Is it business building activities, or is it just perusing through Facebook and commenting on people's posts, which I know is a part of it, but it's not the entire part of it. So I just want to continue to encourage you guys. Right now is the time where we really should be pushing the pedal to the metal as far as inviting people, because then, the holidays, people want help and need help through the holidays. Some people kind of just throw it out the window or say, you know what, it's the holidays, I'm going to do this or that. But let's try to be encouraging so people don't have that attitude or take that attitude towards it. Get involved in a challenge group, invite people, and just keep plugging away. So next thing, here are the announcements. Excuse me. Core de Force, they announced recently that along with selling the DVD challenge pack, they're also just going to be selling a digital challenge pack. So it's instead of just a 30-day free trial of the club membership, they'll get a full 90 days of the club membership, and the Core de Force will be unlocked in that membership. Whereas if you buy the other one, you get the DVDs and then only 30 days of the club membership. It's still unlocked in there, but you only get 30 days of a free trial. So I don't know. I think they're just kind of experimenting to see how that will go. Challenge Tracker, they announced an easy way to invite. So if you guys have used the Coach Challenge Tracker app, which I hope you guys have, because I think it's a pretty cool thing. They're starting to be able to do things to it to help us streamline our challenge groups. For example, you can now go ahead and repost posts that you had put in other challenge groups, previous challenge groups, so you can easily schedule those in your post library. And then they also added an easy invite. So you can go back to one of your old challenge groups and just put a check mark next to people's names, or select all the participants from a previous challenge group and hit invite, and it'll send them an invitation to your current challenge group. So I think that that's cool that they're continuing to upgrade that and continuing to give us more streamlinable techniques or ways to run our challenge groups. The health bet will be back in January, so that was a huge success. It was one of the biggest months in Beachbody as far as results and people submitting their before and after and everything like that. So it was definitely something that Beachbody's goal was to do just that. They wanted to see a boost in results and help people get results. And that was something that got a lot of people involved. I think they said there's like 250,000 people in that first health bet. So that's going to be back in January. Excuse me. Let's see. Team Spirit competition. If you haven't signed up, we need 20 people in order to have a team. So make sure if you haven't signed up, please do that. Get registered. And that way we can represent Stay True in the Team Spirit competition. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and look in your FAQs on your team online or the coach online office, and you can read the details about that. Super Saturday is this Saturday, and we will be hosting it here at our house from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, right? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I don't want to say anything I shouldn't, but I know we're going to have like coffee, and we're going to have tea, and we'll have water or whatever. Just, we're not doing a meal or anything just because of the time from 9 to 11. It's a off hour for either breakfast or lunch. So, and then also they are going to have the Core de Force sneak peek this weekend as well. I think it's going to be going on Saturday and Sunday. So you'll be able to, excuse me, through your coach or Beachbody on Demand, you'll be able to stream the workout this weekend too. So that's it for the announcements. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Mapi, and she's going to get us started here on our Facebook like pages. Go ahead, Mapi.
Oh, yikes. Now I'm like, you put all the pressure on me.
Oh, it's all on you. No, I'm just You're hanging out with friends. Just talk to us about it.
Right. Okay, so let me share my screen. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say we're going to talk about our like pages. And so when I discussed this with Beth, I went back to when I created my like page. And honestly, I did not know what I was doing. I just did it because I thought it was needed for my business. And I just went and created it. And it was just like throwing darts, like just like whatever. I didn't have a target. I just kind of like did it to do it. And then I recently decided to go after my like page for different reasons. And I went back to understanding it a little bit more. So this presentation, just know that it is very basic. It's very basic, but it should give you the information you need to determine whether you want to go after a like page or not. I can tell you, if this is a hobby for you, then you're probably not going to need it. But if this is your business and you truly take ownership of your business, then it's something that is something that you have to do. You have to have it, for sure. So just feel free to interrupt me or like ask questions or anything. And I'm going to share my screen now so that we can see this. Hopefully it will work. Let's see. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see it? I cannot hear you, but where did you go? Let me see. Can you see my page or no? Okay, can you see the presentation or no?
Right now I see your computer screen, but I could, yeah, there. Now I can see your presentation.
Okay, and let me figure out how to do this big. Well, I'm not sure how to do it big. I'm kind of like technologically challenged. There we go. Okay, so basically we're gonna talk. Beth, I cannot see you guys, so like if if something happens, let me know.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna mute myself, but I'll tell you if we can't see it.
Okay, so or if you cannot listen to me or anything. Okay, so we're gonna talk about you, your business, your brand, and your like page. So first of all, who are you? You cannot have a like page without understanding who are you. And I'm not talking about you being a woman or a man in this age and, a mom or a dad or whatever that is, but going a lot further than that. So just understand that there is only one of you. Okay. And that's one thing that I struggled with when I started my business. I thought, how am I going to differentiate myself among the thousands and thousands of coaches that are out there? And truth is, there's only one of you. You are unique and you have a lot to offer. So you have to find value in that. So in order to understand your brand or to create your brand, you have to understand who you are. And to understand who you are, you can go through these little, points that I'm going to make here. First of all, you have to set your values. Consider all the people, feelings, and situations that basically make you happy and write them down, because that is going to tell you a lot about yourself, and that is going to determine how are you going to portray yourself like yourself in your page. And I say like yourself because many times we make the mistake of pretending or portraying somebody that we are not. So just start with your values. Second is prioritize your values. So what is more important to you? Maybe family is more important to you. Maybe your career is more important to you. Maybe your dog is more important to you. I'm not sure, but just make sure that once you set them, then you have to prioritize them. Then identify your passions. And passions can be both personal and professional. And I love this part that I found when I was, kind of like figuring out my brand. It says you should identify both personal and professional. This will give you an idea of the things that drive your professional life, but also things that you want to be doing when you're not working. And we're going to talk about joy a little bit later. And then identify your ideal traits, which basically is the unique aspects of your personality that is going to attract your lifers. It's going to attract the people that is going to follow you and stay with you on this journey. So along with your values, you have to look at your vision. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I have to tell you, this is one thing that has brought a lot more joy into my business. And is this question, how do you want to see yourself in 10 years? So when things stress you out, or when you don't know, how to handle a specific situation, you don't know maybe your vision, you're not sure about your brand, go back to this question. How do you want to see yourself in 10 years? Do you really want to see yourself yourself in 10 years like you are right now? Probably not. So that is going to help you determine a lot of characteristics about your brand and yourself and how to portray yourself, on social media. So moving on, your brand. And I love this because it has it has your thumbprint, which is unique. It's just you. You are going to be you. And this is super important if you want to be successful on your business. If you're trying to copy anybody, I can guarantee you're not going to be successful. So how do we talk about your brand? The brand is something very complicated. I'm just spending a little bit of time in here. So it goes a lot further than this. This is just basics. But you have to understand, and remember how I told you we're going to come back to joy a little bit ago? Well, it's because of this. I love this quote. It says, the goal of building your personal brand is not just grow your business, but it's about finding happiness with your professional life. The decisions you make will be more likely to lead to happiness and follow your values. So you see how everything relates? I can tell you, if you build a like page, when you're just trying to portray yourself like somebody that you are not, or you're posting things that they're not comfortable to you, they're not on your comfort zone, they're not things that you necessarily you don't like, or you are not just so into them, then they're not gonna sound truthful. Then it's gonna sound fake. And honestly, you're not gonna find joy in that because it's something that you don't like and you don't enjoy. But if you really focus on building your brand around the fact that you have to find happiness within your professional life, that's the key to building your brand. So first of all, no faking. We said that before. You have to be you. So you have to sound like you are. You have to talk like you talk to your friends. You have to just be you. And you have to be open. You have to let others get to know you. Many times we pretend that people know everything about us, and they know. And I can tell you, just a little bit ago, I ran into a friend of mine, and she said she only sees me at the school when I drop off my kids and when I pick them up. And she was like, oh my goodness, you're always so put together and, just always perfect. I'm like, what? I was like, I am a hot mess all the time. She's like, I can just see yourself, your house clean all the time and perfect. I'm like, honey, you need to stop at my house. It's like a disaster half the time. She's like, really? And I understood, there's an area of my life, like being a hot mess, that I wasn't sharing, and that's something that I need to let people get to know me completely, not only the positive side of me, but just all about me. And you have to serve your audience. When you build your brand, you have to understand that it's not just you. You cannot be selfish. It cannot be only about you. You also have to find a way within your brand to serve your audience. You have to be confident. And if you are not confident, then you have to sound confident. You don't need anybody's permission. And I cannot tell you this enough. I always thought that I just needed to get to a certain level in my business to be able to make a presentation, or to be able to ask a question, or to be able to post something. I always thought that, I needed somebody's permission, and no, I don't. And that gave me just lack of confidence that actually did not allow me to grow on my business. So confidence is something that you have to work on for sure if you don't have it. And it's something I'm working on every day. And building your online presence. Nowadays, that's key. You cannot build a brand without being online. So, but when you're online, you also have to not just, give everything online, but you also have to stop and look at yourself and see how you are appearing and coming across online. And it's something that you have to monitor. Like every so often, I would say every couple weeks or so, I go back to my news feed and I look at all the pictures that I've posted, all the posts that I've done, and I try to find the things that I have missed. And I create a list, and I'm like, okay, these are things that I have to focus on this next week or so. The next one is define your target audience. One of the biggest mistakes we make is in trying to appeal to everyone. And I have been that person who I've been just like opening up invitations for everyone that I'm friends with. And that just doesn't work. You have to aim to a targeted group of people, because that is how you find your lifers, and that's how you find your tribe. And this is kind of tricky because sometimes you find yourself in a position when you don't want to post something and take a stand for something because you're afraid that you might, kind of drive people away from you. But in reality, that's kind of like a fine line you have to walk through. But we'll talk a little bit more about it later. But the point is, you are going to aim to a targeted group of people. And there is people that is going to get off your wagon, and that is okay. That is okay. So when you define your target audience, you have to know who they are. Kind of basics: male, female, age, what they do for a living, where do they live, that sort of thing. That's at a very general level. But then you have to go deep, like very deep. Like you cannot breathe deep. You just have to know everything about them. I recently was challenged to define my target audience, and I kid you not, I have 2 pages written down. 2 pages. And that's because I finally understood that knowing them was truly outside of the general, outside of the male, female, age, location. I had to go deep. Like I had to know what these people think about. What do they struggle with? What are they feeling? What do they like to watch on TV? What do they not like to watch on TV? I was telling Beth this, like, to the level of like, okay, they want to watch, I don't know, The Real Housewives of New York, but they want to watch it, but then also complain about people watching it. That sort of detail, like know what they like to eat. What is they try to avoid? What are they attracted to? Think of it as a date. And when somebody told me these first, I was like, what? Like, what do you mean a date? But this is the way she explained it. She said, when you went on a date for the first time, your first date, you didn't even know what you wanted. You just wanted to go on a date. And you just were excited to go on a date. And you took, whoever you dated wasn't important. It was the fact that you went on a date. But by the time the second or third date comes, then you know exactly what you want and what you don't want. So if you apply that to your business, when we start this business, we're a Beachbody coach. We wanna help people, and we focus on the business and whatever. But we don't really like go deep into what we want. And many times we forget about that goal of who we want to be in 10 years within this business. So again, think of it as a date. Know exactly who these people are, how do they look like, what do they like, and what do they not like. And this is something that you're going to probably write down and then change as you go. But just it's very important that you write it down. Build an online presence. So here you have to think relationships. And this is something that came from Louis House, which I don't know if you follow him, but he has a great podcast called The School of Business. And somebody had asked him, if he was to start from scratch, what would be important for him to build an online presence? And he said, making friends, becoming friends with influencers. Don't just network with them. Take the time to develop a bond that is stronger than a business deal. When you do this, your friends will take a bullet for you, and the business deal or promoting you is a no-brainer as well. And I kind of had an aha moment about this part recently. I ran into one of my friends, and she had been one of my customers And then I saw she posted online that she signed up with another MLM. And I was kind of disappointed because I thought, man, I should have approached her about being a Beachbody coach. And I never did. Shame on me. But she was running this business, and I kind of kind of distanced myself from her because I thought, okay, she's doing another business, whatever. So later on, we just became closer through another project, another thing, and we became really good friends. And I ended up knowing about her business, which has nothing to do with health and fitness, but I learned more about her business. And then I went to a party at her house, and next thing I know, she is recommending me to her own customers. So you see, I was like, that was like a big eye-opening. When I read this, I was like, this is what it's all about. Just creating, becoming friends, and not just networking, but creating that bond with those people. Even if they are not in the business, or even if they're not your customers, you have to create those bonds. And social media, obviously you have to choose a platform. Today we're going to focus on Facebook because pages are on Facebook, but I cannot be more, I cannot stress this more. You have to study it. It's not only about knowing Facebook as a regular, user of Facebook, but learning Facebook or whatever your platform is as a business owner is completely different. And it's something that changes constantly. So you have to study it like it's a course for your job. If you were an engineer and there were new techniques that you have to learn or stuff like that, you have to study it. You have to continue in the business of studying your platform, because that's the only way you're going to grow your business, if you're using this as a tool. And also follow the influencers on that platform. So I can tell you, for instance, I'm a big fan of Shailene Johnson. I love her. And so I follow her. But I don't only just follow her and look at her in my newsfeed. I pay attention to her. I see what kind of posts she does. I kind of track, does she talk about her family? Does she not talk about her family? Does she talk about her fitness? Does she talk about her business? Is she more motivational? And kind of go through her page and kind of see what she's posting. And I also study her interaction. I often go to her comments and I go see how she responds to different posts. And I'm not gonna lie, I also do that with different Beachbody coaches that I admire and that I'm inspired by. I see what they post. I see how they post it. I see how often they post it. I see what type of pictures they post. And I also see how they respond to questions, how they interact with people, because that is going to teach me how to run my business as well. So your like page, you have to learn it and you have to know it. But before that, you have to know what it is. So your like page is in Facebook. So let's go back to basics. 1.55 billion people on Facebook each month. So we have a huge opportunity to reach millions of people. 88% of users access it via their cell phones. So that's another thing you have to take into account, because that's when pictures come into play, posts come into play. You're checking on your phone, more likely you're scrolling up and down super fast. Facebook users check their page 14 times a day on average. Okay, so when they say this, I was like, okay, for me, it might be a little bit more than that, right? Do you check your page more than 14 times? Average is 41 minutes a day on Facebook. But then I also put this. Okay, so the goal of Facebook, I heard one time Mark Zuckerberg said that his goal for Facebook was to become kind of like your online newspaper. And I was like, okay, how is he going to do that? This was a couple years ago. But now if you look at Facebook, it is becoming your newspaper. On the side, you have the news. You have the news, by celebrities or by politics or, just different industries. You can select that. Then you have live video. I mean, I don't think it's going to be long as we can probably see obituaries in there. He is getting to that. And to understand this, I'm putting this here because you have to know this platform. Also understand that besides the 1.5 billion people on Facebook, you have people on WhatsApp. There is about 900 million people on WhatsApp, which I don't know if you use it, but I know it's a big social media platform in like Latin America. But this is what I'm telling you. It's not so big in the US, but it's moving here. I know many people who use it here, and it is a great way to do groups within this platform. Do you have to learn about this platform? Probably not now unless you want to, but I'm saying this because Facebook is taking, kind of like what is people liking about these apps and kind of implementing them into their own platform. There is 700 million on Messenger, which, by the way, Messenger, you don't have to have a Facebook page to use Messenger. So that's kind of like recent. So that's another area that you can use, and 400 million on Instagram alone. So Facebook is a huge platform, and you're going to be using it with your like page, but also be attentive of those that are coming behind it. So besides those 1.5 billion people on Facebook, there are about an estimated 40 million small business using Facebook to promote their brand. So how do you differentiate yourself? Well, we just talked about it a little bit ago. You have a gift and you have to value it. You have to know that you're unique and that you can have a tribe behind you. And once you know that, then you're going to be much more comfortable in opening up and letting others get to know you. So most marketers, use their ads, which I don't know if you saw the presentation from Gary Vee from Summit. So that's definitely something that I encourage you to investigate and learn about, Facebook ads. But today, because we're doing it kind of like basic, I'm just going to focus on ways to grow your likes without spending any money. So the first one is images. That's huge. You have to learn how to captivate your audience with images that are that you post, whether in your personal page or on your like page. You have to post pretty images. You have to watch your lighting, that your pictures are not too dark. You have to make them pretty. You have to make them look professional. You have to watch your background. All of that is part of your job. So this is how you're reaching your market. So I used to be one that said, oh, whatever. But no, this is my job and I have to take it seriously. So yes, I have to spend the time in making my pictures pretty. For instance, I'm doing the ultimate reset now. And in the past, I did it and I just posted my pictures kind of on the go. And this time, because I'm understanding a little bit more, I just got a very nice little, placemat and put the ultimate reset on the side and made my dishes look pretty. And then, I'm going to post all of this once I go week by week. Did it take time? Yes, it did take time. And it was sort of annoying, to tell you the truth. But it's going to pay off because I'm going to catch people's eyes when they scroll through their news feed, especially if they're in their mobiles. So you have to use pretty images. And if you do not know how to use pretty images, go to Pinterest, okay? Go to Pinterest and get ideas of how people are posting different things, from quotes to dishes to pictures about their family to outfits to anything that you are about. Look at it and see what catches your eye, and then use those ideas when you try to take a picture. So here's an example, okay? So when I did my like page, and this is, I wish I would have a copy of my first picture, but this is something that I did probably a little less than a year ago. I wanted to put kind of like a professional picture of on my Facebook, on my like page cover, Facebook cover, and I went to PicMonkey and I did it there, and this is what I came up with. Okay, sure, sort of good, okay, pretty, I guess. But once I understood this is my job and this is my business, I wanted to make it professional. So I tried to go at it a PicMonkey, and I honestly couldn't make it. So this was my personal choice. I'm not telling you to do this, but I invested on somebody that I know that is a graphic designer. And I said, I want to make my page really professional. Can you come up with something for me? And she said, okay. So I haven't put it up yet because she's still working on it, but this is what she gave me. So doesn't it look a little bit more professional? I cannot see you, so I hope you're saying yes. But, I just want to portray myself as, I want to portray my brand. And so just to explain to you here, I put my team name, which is very important to me because there's a meaning behind it. And then and this is something that I need to fix yet, but I put my logo, which is love, inspire, empower, actually, because this is what this is how I think of my lifers and my tribe. Is I want to love on them, and I want to inspire them, and then I want to empower them. So that's why my logo is love, inspire, empower. Not my logo, but like my line, my tagline, I guess. But this is something that I invested in, and I don't regret it because I know that like all the money that I'm making with my business right now, I'm kind of like putting it back in my business, which wasn't the case before, but I decided to do that because I'm finally taking ownership of my business. And this changed the minute I asked myself, how do I want to see myself in 10 years? And it started with my like page. So make your post interest. Okay, so the most common reason for people to like unfollow somebody is because their posts are not interesting. So you can say something like, hey, I had this for lunch. So, and then a picture of a salad, that's probably not going to do much. But if you say something along the lines, okay, so I went today to this new place called Artisan and I tried the peach and feta cheese salad, and it was absolutely delicious. Look at this. Do you guys visit coffee shops? I love this coffee shop. You guys got to try it. So I'm saying something I like, but I'm also trying to be interactive because I ask a question. I also invited somebody to somebody else's business, which is this coffee shop. But I'm being relatable, I'm being conversational, and I'm showing a little bit more interest in getting people's feedback and getting people's response, and I'm not just displaying my life. Use storytelling, which is something that I'm just getting into it. This is kind of hard for me, I have to say. I know many people out there that are really good at it, and I just started with just my posts, just kind of like telling a little bit about myself once I post, and I'm starting to use the storytelling. But I'll just say this. If you don't know about a topic, just Google it. And that's what I'm doing with the storytelling. I'm Googling and I'm learning. Make your content relatable. We just kind of talked a little bit about this. When I sit and make a post on my like page, unlike I did a few months ago, I now pretend I'm talking to a friend. So I'll be like, hey, you guys, did you notice this? Or blah, blah, blah. Like, just like if I run into somebody and I would say this to them, that's how I posted. Because I want it to sound like me. Create opportunities to pick that curiosity. I've been doing that with my personal page to pick curiosity about my like page. I haven't done so much in my like page just yet, but it's something I'm leading towards. make your pieces interactive. Like I said, ask questions, make people answer to you, and controversy. This is what I was telling you a little bit ago about, okay, so I was told when I started that, you want to stay away from politics and, things like that. And I still stand by that. I don't think you should post something that is so controversial that offends people. However, I will say that you should be free to take a stand, but watching that fine line. For instance, I am pro-life, okay? So I will say things in my post sometimes that will indicate that I'm pro-life. But I'm not going out and saying, hey, I am pro-life, and whoever is not pro-life, then blah, 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 blah. So does that make sense? Like you just have to kind of let people know you and take a stand for those things that are important to you, but without offending people. So you make a little bit of controversy in that way. People will know who you are and what you stand for. And some people will get off your wagon, and that's okay. Because honestly, I cannot foresee myself having somebody in my team, for instance, that is highly like against being pro-life. So does that make sense? Like you want to attract those people that are going to stay with you, and probably the people that you do not agree with at all, it's probably people that are not going to be on your team anyway. So just watch that, take a stand, but watch that fine line. Engage with other pages in your niche. This is something that I recently learned about. Okay, so you cannot post from your page into a personal page. Facebook doesn't allow you to do that unless it has changed recently, but they don't allow you to do that. However, you can post as your page in other business page. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So I do that a lot. So for instance, like I said, I follow Shalene Johnson. So when I go to her business or her like page, I post as it was from my like page, not as my personal profile. And I do that with other people I follow, like, just people that I love to follow, like Jen Hatmaker, for instance, or I do that with Proverbs 31 Ministries and other different pages that I like. I will post as like from my like page, not from my personal page. Promote your page. Okay, so as simple, and I'm learning this, as simple like my page is probably not going to work. So you have to, kind of promote your page in smart ways. An easy way to do this is right now I'm kind of starting with that. I'm posting on my personal page and just telling people, hey, the other day I posted, I open up about something that I struggle with on my like page, head over there. And this is funny because I found out that not many people liked it, but I had a lot of private messages of people that read what I posted. And so just know that people are watching, but don't feel afraid of promoting your page. Video. Okay, so native video is what is definitely going to be the most rich. By this, I mean video that you take with your phone and you post directly. So not posting something from YouTube or anything like that. Facebook wants to be or become the live TV in your pocket. So, and they're jealous. If you're posting something from YouTube on your Facebook page, you're driving people from Facebook to YouTube and they compete. So they don't like that. So they are not going to show your post to many people. But if you're posting directly from your phone, or if you have saved that video on your computer and then upload it directly from your computer, then they're going to show it to more people. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope I'm letting myself explain. Facebook Live, as you know, is huge. I recently learned that short, compelling titles work best and that you now can edit your videos. And I learned it. I kind of learned it just recently, but I will encourage you to look it up. Just said how to edit your videos on Facebook Live, and you actually can categorize them, change, the image that appears up front, all sorts of things. So I would just encourage you to go there and look at it. And the last one, I will say, remain a student of your brand, your business, and your industry. Guys, I cannot tell you this enough. Like, for so long, I waited for the team call to teach me what to do with my business. And that's like a week. So, this is your business. This is your future. You own this. There's nobody else that owns your business. It's you. So you have to be curious. You have to Google. Google is your best friend nowadays. And it's a great tool. You don't know how to create a like page? Go Google it, how to create a like page. You don't know what to post? Well, what posts are interested in Facebook. Just Google it, and you'll find so much information. Study it, because it changes constantly. And I will be bold, and Glenn, I don't know if you agree with this, but I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say, invest in your business. If you truly are doing this to grow it, and if you're truly doing this, as your career, then it's a no-brainer. You're going to need to invest in your business sooner or later. I'm not telling you to go and spend thousands of dollars. I'm just telling you, invest. Maybe you have to start little. Maybe you have to do a free webinar. It's an investment of your time. It doesn't have to be an investment of money, but there is countless sources of information out there. And if you're just waiting, and I'll say this, if we are just waiting for the team call, or for a Beachbody conference or a summit to teach us how to do things in our business, then I can tell you, we're never going to grow, and we're never going to be successful, because we're not taking ownership of our business. We have to take ownership. We have to invest in it, whether it's time or money, you decide, but you have to invest in it, and you have to take action. You cannot just sit and wait for things to be given to you, because that's not what small businesses do. That's not what business owners do. You have to get out there and grow it and take ownership of it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I think that's all I have.
Drop the mic on that one, Mapi. No, I would never argue about investing in your business. I mean, you mentioned, it can come in the form of time. It can come in the form of money, in the form of personal development. And I would encourage you guys to, take a look at, what are you weak at? Where are you struggling? What are your areas that you need a little help with? And, talk to somebody about them, see if they're relevant to your business, if they'll help your business. Are they going to expand or help you improve your business? And if so, then by all means, invest in it. I don't know how much money we've spent on personal development or
too much,
technologies. I've spent a lot of money on stuff, and sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't, and it's a matter of trial and error, and business that comes with risk. So but
that was great info, Mapi. Thank you so much I took a lot of notes. So
yeah, I did too. My hand is kind of
You're right.
Do you guys have any questions or comments or thoughts? Hold on one second here. All right, go ahead.
I will say I follow Shailene Johnson, and I know she had a video too about like pages.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched it, and there was a lot of good information on there too.
Yeah.
Just all the information on, you can look at the insights, so you can see where your audience is being targeted. So it'll say who viewed your page, what area, cities, everything on there.
Yeah. That is one of the big things with Shailene Johnson. She said, if you're a business owner and you don't have a like page, forget it. Like, just don't talk to me. Like, she's like a huge believer on the like page, and I completely agree with her. And she says this, like, your business page gives you that your personal page doesn't give you. It'll tell you who is looking at it, you know, where are they at, and all that information, again, because you have to study it in order to understand it, then it's going to allow you to grow your business. But if you don't know any of that, then how can you grow your business? You're just kind of throwing darts in the dark. Like, you are not targeting anybody. So yeah, I love her. She's a great resource. I can tell you, Charlene Johnson is a great resource of that. Mary Smith, or Maria Smith, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's Mari Smith. She is huge Facebook person. She will tell you the trends on Facebook. She will tell you what's working, what's not working, what's coming. I know she has a great video out on some of the stuff that is coming up. I know she's saying groups is something that is getting big, because lots of people is kind of like not like, you know how you can edit your audience on your post, but it's kind of annoying to do that every time you post. So people is kind of going to groups. They're making a group for just their family, or their family and their cousins and things like that. So all of this stuff, like, if we are going to grow our business through social media, all of this stuff, we have to know. I mean, this is the part of our job that's probably not so fun, but we have to know it if we want to grow.
Yeah,
I agree.
it is. And, you know, but don't get overwhelmed or don't overcomplicate it, because if you do, you have to separate this extra, I'm going to call it extra stuff, because it's not the core of building your business. The core of building your business is still the, you know, vital behaviors. And so make sure you're doing that. Then once you get those things done, then this is where you would go and maybe do some of that extra training. And I'm going to say this. Yeah, I'm going to say this. Basically, don't mistake those activities of learning and doing this extra training as you working your business on activities that are going to directly grow and affect your business in the short term. In the long term, yes, it will. Okay.
Yeah, and you need to have
but
it. I mean,
do your power hour, then knock stuff out.
And I think, like Mapi said, if you just know that on your like page, you're just being you, so you don't have to overcomplicate it. You do need to think about who you are and who you represent and what type of post you're going to put on there. But as long as you're not trying to be someone else, like, a lot of it should come naturally to you. So
yeah. And I have to say this, I just recently revamped my like page. I think it's been just a couple weeks. And I had left it before because I was overwhelmed. And I was like, what the heck do I post? I don't even know. And that's because I didn't understand my brand and I didn't understand my audience and any of that. So now, because I know my priority is to get, you know, my power hour and my activities with, you know, Beachbody as a Beachbody coach. But I just started small. So right now my goal is to get one post a day and by 7:00, and anything else is like the cherry on top at this point. And I'm still, like, I'm not a good time manager. So I'm still trying to learn about how to manage my time better. And as I learn that, then I'll probably move up. So don't think that you have to do it all and all of a sudden you have to be the queen of the like page. Just start small and take baby steps and be comfortable in taking baby steps, because that relates to your goal. You know, maybe a month or two from now, you'll be able to spend more time in there. But right now, start what you can do. Don't make like this huge goal that overwhelms you and then you hate it and then you stop it. You know,
think about it like your fitness. And first, I'm never going to try to be the queen of my like page. But anyway, try to. Nick, Dan, Ernie, you agree, I bet. But no,
who you're attracting.
Yeah. But anyway, so No, but go think about it as fitness. I would never say to a beginner who's just coming off being sedentary on the couch, hasn't worked out in 10 years, I'd never say, dude, you got to do Insanity Max 30, right? You wouldn't overload or overwhelm somebody like that. So think about that as you're new to your like page, you're new to your business, you're new to something. You have to set smaller goals for that. It can't be Insanity Max 30 the first week, or what's going to happen. You're going to do 2-3 days of it and then you're done. So I love it that you brought that up, Mapi. Just take it slow, work on it slowly, and eventually build it to where naturally you just end up getting on there and you post 3 times a day instead of once a day, or however many times you want to. So that would be my advice for it, because I've done the same thing you did, Mapi, where I've started to do it, I stuck with it for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and then all of a sudden nothing. Mm-hmm. So it's something that you just have to take what you've done, what all of you have done as far as your workouts, your lifestyle changes, as your health, your wellness, and just plug that in, that success you've had there. Think back to day one. You got ready, you prepared yourself, you got your workout space set up, you get your computer space set up, you organize everything, and then you take it step by step, one post at a time. Start out with 1 a day, 2 a day, whatever you want, and walk yourself through that. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we are cruising up to 1 hour here, so I'm going to end the call. But no, Mapi, I think you did a great job condensing. That's huge. You just covered a huge topic, and each of that, we could come up with a team call on each and every one of those slides that you presented. So I think you did a great job condensing that and hitting the main points. If you guys have questions for Mapi, please bombard her with questions. So,
and this is a picture. Hold on.
Yeah, I need to get a picture too.
And make sure you post. You know what? Post and stay true. If you have questions about the call or the topic, feel free to I'll post once this uploads and I get a YouTube link. I'll put that in the team page. Then in the comments below, if you guys have questions, let's start interacting on the team page there, so that we can see and people can get questions answered. And if you're thinking or you have a question, I'm sure other people do too. So that'll be a good way to share it. So
okay.
Thank you.
Smile. Take a picture.
Please. Did you take?
There we go.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Thank you guys. Sorry it took so long.
No, you did great.
Have
Thanks.
a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting on.